This is the IFF TV podcast.
The live questions, so then we're going to do an embargoed section. So there's cameras, so I just want to say embargoed. If we could just switch off, please, I'll let you know. Any local journalists want to ask questions?
Hi, welcome back to Scotland.
Thank you.
You obviously did a lot for the Scottish game when you were here.
Thank you, I did my best.
What have you made of the progress of women's football, especially here in Scotland?
Well, I think it only went up. There has not been a stop. It never went back. And I'm very impressed by the programs that have been set in. I'm very proud that the basic structures are still there, the way that we have set it in. And don't forget to mention in that Sheila Begbie. She was the director of women's football, and we worked together. I did the technical part, and she did the policy side. And well, we were a good team, I think.
You also know a lot of the players. Some of them are still involved now. How beneficial could that be for you tomorrow night?
No, I don't know these players, other than you would know them or anyone else would know them. Because, of course, it's. I went to the Netherlands in 2004, so that's 18 years ago. No career survives 18 years.
Now, Ireland have never been to a World Cup. What would it mean to you and the girls to get there?
This is a first that Ireland would qualify if we would succeed. And Scotland has been already in 2017, the World Cup 2019, so they have the experience of playing finals, of playing those playoffs. And I think that is the key difference between them and us, that they have the experience how to draw it over the line. On the other hand, I've also seen how they lost it at the final minute, final second of the game. But they have learned from that, and they bring that with them. And other than that, there's some fantastic players in that squad who can make the difference with a core group around it, who all grew from 2017 and 19. So that team is really on a high, and yeah, we need to put something against it.
And Katie, your teammate Kim Little, unfortunately not Kim Little, your teammate Jenny Beattie, you'll be playing against her tomorrow night. Have you had any exchanges with her about this game?
No, no, we've not spoken. I think you spoke to her after the game on Thursday, and then that was it. I've not spoken to anyone else since. Yeah, I think she knows how kind of focused I am on that aspect. But yeah, maybe we'll be friends on Wednesday. Who knows?
Any other local journalists? No? Ashton?
Yep. Hi, Vera. How are you? Here from off the ball. Yourself and the full squad, you sat down to watch Scotland versus Austria. What do you make of the game?
That the very best team won, by far the best team on the night, and huge respect for what they've achieved. It was not an easy game, but yeah, they were the deserved winner. And what I just said, with a lot of dynamics and mobility in the team, and special qualities.
And there's a number of injuries for you personally. Was it hard to pick the starting 11?
Well, the number of injuries, of course, influences the lead up to the game, but we've made our choices and we fully go for that and have trust in it.
And how Katie has training been since you got back in camp?
Yeah, no, training's been really good. I think it's kind of flown by, to be honest. We had a really good week in Dublin. So we got a lot of our work done there, and then had our final session yesterday in Dublin. So no, it's been nice. It's been good. It's been positive. Obviously, we're excited to get going tomorrow night, and looking forward to seeing how Hampden is tonight at training.
And obviously, Ruesha Littlejohn, she's out with her injury. I suppose this is a game that she would love to play in, being from Scotland. Yeah,
of course, Ruesha especially, but along with Megan Connolly, Jess Sue, Savannah McCarthy, Ella Malloy, Leanne Kiernan. Unfortunately, the long injury list is there, but we'll be making sure we've got them with us as well tomorrow. It won't be just obviously the 11 on the pitch or the girls on the bench. It'll be those girls as well that are missing out, that played such a massive part in our campaign and in order to get us here as well.
And as captain, how do you not let that affect the team morale, having such influential international players not involved?
Look, we know, I think we've grown. One thing I've seen within this team over the course of the campaign is the growth and the competitiveness within the team. We've shown we've got depth now, whether we do have injuries early on in the campaign and then obviously towards the end of it. And players have come in and stepped up to the job of being an international player and have done really, really well. And obviously that's down to themselves, from whether they're playing out professionally in leagues across Europe, and then obviously taking their opportunity when it comes. And yeah, it's really positive to see, and it's positive for the national team going forward.
And for you personally, what would it mean to make it to a World Cup?
Yeah, it's stuff of dreams, isn't it? It's you dream of playing at major tournaments. I can't get too ahead of myself. We still have to obviously play the game, and I think one thing for us over the course of the campaign is they've all been massive games, so this is no different. Yes, we know it's a stake, but we know our strengths, and we'll be looking to do everything we can tomorrow night to get over the line.
Brilliant, thank you.
Thank you.
Vera, just to confirm, fully fit squad otherwise?
The squad that's in, yeah,
Yeah, the
they're
squad
fully
that's in.
fit. Yeah.
Okay. And then just, I suppose, the enormity of the game, like, it can't be ignored that this is absolutely massive. Like, how do you kind of temper expectations within the squad? Is it that, what Katie just said, knowing the growth curve this team is on?
Yeah, I said it already last week, and I mean it. We've played already a few finals. Finland home, Finland away, Sweden away especially, Sweden home. It was unfortunate, but also that was a final for us. If we wouldn't have had those results there, we wouldn't have been sitting here now. So even Slovakia game to take it over the line to miss out in the first round of the playoffs. So for us, those games that we have played were as crucial as this game. And that is how we approach it, in the same way, in the same style.
And then Vera, just maybe a word for Jessie. Obviously it was confirmed today it is her ACL, tough injury, but I'd imagine the whole squad are around her just like the other girls too.
Yeah, she came in the hotel for a moment so that we could all embrace her, which was good and unfortunate. I think that is something to be discussed after this game.
And Katie, just one for you. The manager that signed you for Arsenal is over Scotland. I suppose fond memories of him at Arsenal, but then coming against them now tomorrow night, what will that be like?
Yeah, of course. Look, I'll always. Pedro was my first manager at Arsenal, and he brought me into a club I admired growing up, and supported, having obviously a lot of Irish girls representing Arsenal when I was growing up too. So, I'll be looking forward to seeing him tomorrow. But it's all about Ireland from me, and I'll be saying hello to him.
Any other live questions?
Just one quick one. Vera, I know you've spoken about the staggered games tomorrow night and potentially Ireland being at a disadvantage because of that. But you have a later game, so you will know exactly what you have to do when the time game kicks off. So I think that will work in your favour, obviously.
Yeah, true. The other teams will not be happy with it. When I said it with my heart of sports development, fair play and fair competition. That was my remark. That we're now on the positive side does not take my remarks away, because I still find that those games should have been started at the same time.
And have you got your completely understand now the ramifications? Like if the games go to extra time, if they go to penalties, does that count as a draw? Is that you understand? So they get a point.
But if it goes to extra time, then it counts as a win.
Confusing, isn't it?
Just win.
Yeah, can I just follow on about penalties? I'm sure you've practiced them, but have you been able to do anything to practice the pressure in front of a crowd in a massive stadium?
You cannot duplicate the pressure in a crowd. You can't. There's no way to go around that.
Vera, just on that, the 21s, they didn't practice before the game because they were afraid of beating Israel. They might have been watched. Is that going into the brain? So since you got over here, do you want to practice penalties today?
We don't compare ourselves with others. We do it our way.
Are you practicing today?
No.
And what sort of threats will Scotland pose for your team?
Sorry?
What sort of threats will Scotland pose for your team?
Well, what I just said, they're very dynamic. They have the ability to get behind the defense. They have individual qualities to break a game open. And they are using their wings in a very, very efficient way.
Nicola, last one.
Just really quickly, having watched Northern Ireland's journey in the European qualification, Katie, do you feel that the way that the support's behind you and the impact that potential qualification could have on girls and women's football?
Yeah, absolutely. I think for us it's about, obviously reaching that first major tournament and creating that history, but what it'll do for women's football in Ireland will be massive. And that's what we want to do. Obviously, we want to achieve that goal, but we want to also inspire young girls in Ireland and, making sure that they can dream and hopefully play for Ireland too. And I always talk, I've obviously got my little sister who's representing the under-16s at the minute, and we want to put ourselves in that limelight to show that they can achieve and play professional football and make major tournaments. And obviously, the focus will be on winning the game, but obviously if we win it, I think the knock-on effect of that could be massive for women's football in Ireland.
Must be a great sense of pride in leading that charge. Yeah,
of course. I think ever since I got the captaincy, it's, as a young kid, I've always wanted to represent Ireland. So to do it as captain, it fills me with pride each and every single time, and it's something I'll never take for granted, leading the girls out, and it'll be an absolute pleasure to do it tomorrow night here at Hampden as well.
It's actually the ultimate goal of elite football, of international football, to inspire the next generation. Because why would you put so much money into a few players? But that is because of developing the whole game all over the world, and because it gives a massive future for girls. So if we would succeed, it would change lives.
Katie, can I ask you, have you ever experienced a game like this where you just look at the Austria game, it was real catchy, it's all about not making mistakes. Have you found yourself in this kind of environment before where there's no tomorrow kind of a situation?
Yeah, like Vera said, we've experienced it a few times throughout the campaign, against Finland, home and away, Slovakia, home and away, Sweden away. Like, they're all massive games, and I think having played in those kind of pressure games where they're must-wins, we're kind of used to it. Obviously, we can't replicate what's going to happen tomorrow night, but we'll be similar with the kind of pressure situations. But for us, it's about getting our job done early on in the week in terms of the work and being tactically prepared, mentally prepared for what's gonna come at us tomorrow. And when it comes to game day, you're ready and you're kind of in the zone to kind of go out and obviously give it 100% for 90+ minutes.
I know you'll have your shot in order, but what did you learn about Scotland that you didn't maybe know from the other day?
Well, look, they've got a lot of quality in their team. I think having the likes of Caroline Weir and Erin Cuthbert in that midfield, they're going to be dangerous, and they'll be looking to get into the pockets, as Vera said. But for us, it's about nullifying their strengths and making sure we kind of get at their weaknesses as well. And I think they possess the ball. I think that's obviously Pedro's style, is to keep the ball and really possess teams and get teams moving. So they'll be looking to probably do that tomorrow night. So we need to be prepared for that. But it'll be an interesting game.
Sounds like he was good for your career,
Pedro?
Yeah.
I mean, of course, he signed me as a young kid with a dream to play for Arsenal, representing the club. And I was fortunate to play under him. Obviously, then I left on loan to get more game time, which was great. Obviously, came to Scotland, learnt a lot, picked up a trophy, and and came back. And it was nice. It's nice to see him have the Scotland.
Will you tell the players the scores in the other games and whether they're playing to go to a World Cup or playing to get another playoff?
Sorry, will I tell the players if we score?
No, the scores of the other games.
Yeah.
Whether it's win to go to a World Cup or win to make another playoff.
Well, that will be known. That will be known by all, of course. Of course, you don't keep that away.
And just, I don't know, Scotland were advertising this game 2 weeks ago before they played Austria. What do you make of that?
Well, I saw that they stopped doing it last week, that they took it offline. Which was respectful, of course, to us, that they did that.
Katie was talking obviously about her pride being captain. She was 21 when she was handed the armband.
You make me feel old.
I'm the old one. Yeah.
How unusual is that in your experience coaching throughout the world that the 21-year-old becomes an international captain, and what are the characteristics that put her in that role and have kept her in that role?
Well, I think you need to ask Katie how she experienced it. I usually choose older players, but probably there was nobody available. The thing is, you get an extra pressure in a frame of your career where you actually want to be free, free to make mistakes and free to hide yourself by times. And Katie has the personality that she doesn't want to hide, that she is capable of carrying that on her shoulders at a very young age. But there's not many like Katie.
Okay, I mean, yourself, when you think back to when you first got the armband, like, did you see a night like tomorrow night on the horizon? What was in your kind of 5 years from now?
I remember the phone call from Colin at the time. I thought I was in trouble actually when I received the call, because it was a way, like, we weren't even like going to be meeting up soon or anything like that. So I was like, why is Colin Bell ringing me? And then he asked me through obviously Emma Byrne's retirement and that. But no, 5 years from the day I was asked to be captain, I wouldn't have pictured us being in this position. But I've learned a lot about myself, obviously, with the captaincy, and I wouldn't have been able to kind of be where I am without the kind of the support network around me within the team, those senior players as well, to kind of lean on in difficult moments. And you learn a lot. I was learning on the job, but as I said, I wouldn't be where I am today without the support of a real core group of players within the team right now. And I'm obviously thankful to have them beside me.
What have you learned about yourself?
It's just getting deep, isn't it?
We need to go to training.
Yeah, I need to go training. No, look, it's with getting a captaincy at such a young age, I think you can what's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know.
Like the identity. What's the word? Come on, Gar.
Do you mean that it can overwhelm you?
Yeah, like it can overwhelm you. You can try be someone you're not and try change very quickly. And at the start, I think I was kind of thinking, okay, what would Emma Byrne do in this situation? But it wasn't about that. It was about me, and I got given the captaincy because of how I was as a person, how I was as a player, what Colin saw in me as a time, as a leader. And it was about being myself and leading in my own way, not what someone else would do. And I think I've grown with that. And I think it's been a pleasure to do that. And as I said, having those senior girls around me at the time to pick me up in difficult moments if I thought I maybe wasn't doing the right thing, was really important and still is to this day.
And just apart from relief, sorry, when Colin, you found out you weren't in trouble, Colin, what was the reaction? What was your reaction?
That's what I said to him. I was like, am I in trouble? And he was like, no. Like, but yeah, obviously I was delighted. I was actually on holiday at the time because it was in the off season, and I didn't believe it. I didn't believe it. But yeah, obviously I'm here now still. Can't get rid of me just yet.
It was like the title of it almost overwhelmed you a little bit at the start, and then you just thought, I'll just be myself.
Yeah, I think, as I said, like you look at the great captains that I've had in teams. Look at Robbie Keane's, like really important captains and leaders, and you look at, okay, what did they do? But it's not about that. Yeah, you can pick bits and pieces from that, but it's about you and obviously yourself. So yeah.
That was my question. The last couple of games, the cup finals that Vera's talked about, what gives you the faith and confidence in your team that you can get through this cup final?
For me, we've got identity in how we play. We've got a structure and a style that we believe in, and that we give 100% with. I think for us, it might not be maybe the prettiest at times, but we understand what our jobs and our roles and responsibilities within that organisation is, and I think having that identity really gives us the confidence then to go out and back ourselves in these sort of games, in these situations. And yes, we've proven that in previous games, but that doesn't mean anything anymore. It's about proving it again now tomorrow night.
Do you feel the weight of the nation, or does that inspire you? Does it spur you?
There's not a weight on my shoulders. I feel the support and the love and the backing from the nation. I wouldn't say there's necessarily a weight or anything like that. I think we all know what's at stake, and it's another game of football at the end of the day.
And there, I don't know if you're horse racing, but Ireland are 9-2 to win tomorrow's match. Scotland are 2-1 on. So basically, Ireland are outsiders, according to those who take money on these things. Does that
And what does that mean?
It means Scotland's our favourites
Scotland
to
are
win.
kind of taken to win the game 2-3.
Well, we know where we stand, and we know that Scotland is further in their game. We know that, so I'm not surprised. They went to the European Championships, they went to the World Cup.
They're at
so,
home.
Yeah, they're at home. Second game at home, perception is in their way. They have the crowd behind them. So that it sums it all up. That is what it is. And what I said, we will be absolutely ready within our capacities tomorrow, and we will see if that is good enough. But we know where we stand. We are realistic. We're very realistic.
Games like this are sometimes, quite often, decided by mistakes on one team or the other. How do you guard against?
You're very positive.
Games between two teams that are evenly matched.
No, I'm only joking. I'm only joking.
Mistakes happen. How do you guard against the nerves around that?
Well, you've asked before, or some of you have asked before, playing in Sweden against a crowd, and I don't think anyone has seen anything of that before. It's about knowing what you can and what you cannot do, and then building in that into teamwork, and then just go for it. We keep it as simple as that, and we know that the nation is behind us, that everybody's proud of us, that we're here now, where we are, and that whatever we show tomorrow, I know that the nation will be proud of what we try to do. And we will see at the end of the game who won. We know where we stand, we're realistic, but we will give our all. That is what we can say.
Katie, you were talking there about that time in 2017 when you came back from loan at Arsenal. I think you mentioned you had a fear that you might be released at that stage. Like, do you think you had a point to prove at that point?
At Arsenal?
Yeah.
No, not necessarily. I think, you're stretching my mind back. 2017, obviously, went to Glasgow and went on the loan, and that I was going to leave, but obviously due to the change in managers, Joe wanted me to stay, and ultimately that was it. And not necessarily a point to prove. I knew myself what I can bring to a team. And when I came back, it was just about being myself and showing that and giving 100% in the team. And I'm still here to this day, obviously representing Arsenal, which I absolutely love.
And were you going to leave of your own volition, or had you been told that you were going to release?
No need to be getting into that now tonight. I'm playing for Ireland now, so we'll worry about that another day.
Okay, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. I'm gonna go.